I ran up a check, I might do it again. Enemies close, had me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me. Gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me. Why you hating on me? It's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck. Country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold-hearted, now I'm back up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just take the money and go stack up. Only buying car till you tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault, I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me. Gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me. Why you hating on me? It's not adding up. Add it up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me. Gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me. Why you hating on me? It's not adding up. The sky so far, but I can't lose it.
It's Tuesday night, Forza Motorsport Spec Racing here live on Twitch TV. Let's get it going. AMS Storm now here on lap number 34 of 34, jumps into the top spot. And here comes Maverick now, going to make a run to the inside on Drex, perhaps missing his mark. Hello, good evening, good afternoon, or maybe even good morning to you all out there. Welcome to Twitch TV X-Venture on Twitch TV. I'm Dustin Moore, and you are tuned in for the Season 44 finale of the Forza Spec Racing Series, featuring the Mazda RX-3, the 1973 Mazda RX-3. And today we head out to the Nürburgring Grand Prix for 39 laps of racing around the 81 miles of circuit that is out there in Germany. Should be a good one. We don't have any championship up for grabs here at the end of the season. This is the finale. That being said, drivers still have a bit to race for, a little bit of pride there on the overall leaderboard to try to get as far up the ladder as they possibly can. Speaking of the leaderboard, let's go ahead and take a look at that leaderboard, which does look like a ladder. Yeah, it's kind of staggered there from the left column to the right. LS Subaru, who I mentioned, well, I didn't mention he had won the championship, but had already secured the championship. It's locked up in the bag. Nobody can take that away from LS Subaru. That'll be 3 straight championships here in the Forza Spec Racing Series. Only one other driver has been able to accomplish that, that being SVT10 Cobra, I believe was the gamer tag early on in the Forza Spec Racing Series history. Crate with 282 points, 262 for SFM Darkster, who I don't think is going to be able to participate here this evening. LS Barney with 231. Audrex just 1 point behind at 230, so that'll be a great matchup to look for here tonight. Slow Motion Fire having a very respectable showing here in Season 44. 197 points, finds him in 6th position right now. just in front of Cuda 93, who has 194. Fear the Fun with 168. Uber Nuts with 156. Patches Riley with 148. Then you've got FZA Lemon on down through Aaron's LG, 11th through 20th position. That is not all the drivers who have participated, only those who have made it into the top 20. I would go take a look at the schedule. However, there's really no point. I mean, we've already been through the first 4 weeks with just this week, just tonight, remaining on the agenda. That's all that matters. And yes, it is out at the Nürburgring GP circuit. It's going to be completely dry. No rain to speak of out there. So no conditions that are beyond what you would normally see if you race out at the Nürburgring GP here in Forza Motorsport 7. And yeah, that is an important point to make, is that this is Forza Motorsport 7. Whether you've got it for the Xbox, a PC, and I guess it's Xbox One, where it debuted, and on PC as well. But then also Xbox Series X or Series S. If you have it for any one of those platforms, you're certainly more than welcome to participate here in the Forza Spec Racing Series. All you got to do is head on over to reddit.com/r/FM4. You can find the information there. Nightbot has just dropped the link. Not that I had anything to do with it, but there you go. Follow that link over to the Reddit, the subreddit forum for the FM4 series, and that way you can get a little bit of a sampling of what this season is all about, because you won't be able to jump in here for tonight's racing action. But in about 3 weeks' time, probably more like, I don't know if Slow Motion Fire is here to confirm. Like 3 weeks from today, or maybe 4 weeks from today, is when season 45 will get kicked off. And let's try to fill the lobby. I'll see if I can't figure out a special incentive if we're able to have a filled lobby every week, or maybe I'll do an incentive where there's a reward for a driver who races in all 5 weeks. I don't know. I'll try to figure it out over the off season here. But yeah, that's what we've got to look forward to. Season 45. There go the frames again. I'm sorry, guys. Apparently there's some sort of internet issue in my neck of the woods. We had internet issues when I first moved here about 7 months ago. Those got resolved. Today seems to be more of a, I don't know if they're doing maintenance out there or what, or maybe it's just some sort of sporadic, crazy, weird thing that's happening. But hopefully y'all can bear with me tonight, and hopefully the frames will hold up. Then we won't have to bear with anything. We can just watch the racing action unabated by frames. Let's see here. In the chat, we've got Gamer Logic for the win. Hey, Dustin, it's me, LS Subaru. Great to catch the stream. I got a bone to pick with you, Subaru. You're not out here on the track. You're not trying to get the 9-race sweep. I couldn't get the golden broom graphic well, I could have if you participated, but you didn't. No, it's cool. I understand. Take a step away for the weekend. LS Subaru, when we spoke to Subaru last week in the driver's spotlight at the conclusion of week number 4, did say was planning to make a return in season 45, perhaps to be the first driver to go back to back to back to back. That would be crazy, right? 4 straight wins, 4 straight championships. LS Subaru will be picking the vehicle for season 45. So if you have a particular car in mind, I would suggest dropping him a line. Maybe he requires you sneak him a 20 under the table or whatever. The Australian dollar, by the way, you're going to have to go convert that there for Subaru. And then that way, maybe you get the vehicle that you're best at here in Forza Motorsport 7. Who knows? I bet you Subaru will still give you a run for your money no matter what. SDR Onion with too many eyes is here in the chat. LS Barney is here saying, reminding me that there is no qualifying. I do have that written down on my notes that there is no qualifying here in week number 5. Where I didn't take that into account was in my predictor. So I'm going to have to go in that submission and just return all y'all's points, because as I was getting the show started, I figured I'd just fire up that predictor real quick, totally forgetting that it is in reverse order of point standing. So if you've got the fewest number of points, you'll be up front. Those drivers with the highest number of points, LS Subaru, if you were racing today, would be at the very back of the pack. Let's see. Gamer Logic says, yeah, not going to lie, the addiction I have for Gran Turismo 4 has been really badly. Gran Turismo 4 is a fantastic game. It's a fabulous game. The only thing that doesn't age well with Gran Turismo games, no matter if you're talking 1 through 6, even the latest and greatest, even probably Sport. Although I haven't played the last 3 iterations of Gran Turismo, I've definitely had an eye out for them. The thing that doesn't age well with those games, no matter how young they are, or some of them are, is the AI. The AI is absolutely atrocious. Absolutely atrocious in those games. He wouldn't have had the straight flush of wins anyway, says Huracan. Hey, I'll let you throw those words out, and then I'll let Subaru ingest those however he pleases, because those sound to me like fighting words that I wish actually precipitated something. A little on-track battle. Looking at the lobby right now, I know you all can't see it at the moment, but we've got Audrex, LS Barney, Onion with too many eyes, Patches Riley, Modern Weapon, Slow Motion Fire, Cratrim, Megachin, Kuda93, Amos, Huracan, who did show up last week and decided to participate here here with the Forza Spec Racing Series in Season 44, and then Ubernuts. So 11 drivers currently on the grid. And if I take a look at my clock here, we're a little bit after the top of the hour. I'm sure Slow Motion Fire is going to get things sorted here pretty dang quickly, and maybe if there are any stragglers that are trying to get in, hopefully we'll get those in. No, we will not. Slow Motion Fire dropping it into the chat right there, saying, here we go. Let's do it. All right, you see there, Modern Weapon, Patches Riley will share row number 1. Kuda93 and Slow Motion Fire, row number 2. Audrex and Barney. Then it looked like Cratrium and Megachin, I think, there on row number 4. Modern Weapon, as soon as we see Modern move the slightest, everybody else is permitted to go. Modern's going to hold them there. Wait for it. Wait for it. Kick the tires. Light the fires. Ladies and gentlemen, the Season 44 finale is now underway. 39 laps around the marvelous Nürburgring Grand Prix. Into turn number 1, it will be Modern Weapon, followed by the whole slew of cars. You got Patches Riley there still in second, Audrex in third, Kuda in fourth. Let's go back to Slow Motion Fire, who is in 5th position as they get out of the Mercedes arena, heading toward turn number 3. Then it'll be 4 on into 5 and 6, which is Ford Curve. Then all the way down to turn number 7, that horseshoe, which is Dunlop. There's Slow Motion Fire now dropping back a couple of spots to 7th position. Carbon, what's going on there, Carbon? Good evening. 3 wide, LS Barney, Ubernuts, and whoever number 17, that's Slow Motion Fire, falling back another 2 positions to 9th. So from 5th to 9th goes Slow Motion Fire. It's all in the name. It's all in the name. Huracan up to 6th position now, representing AMS, Alien Motorsports, going into Dunlop here, turn number 7. Cratrim on the low line, getting around the Wonka Bar car. That's going to be LS Barney. There's Patches Riley, who's only dropped back 1 spot. Well done there for Patches. Big J Bishop, Fear the Fun, saying, I got banned from Forza for shoving? Oh, no. Oh, no. Didn't Hurricane say that he didn't want to install? I heard that he was retired, but, you know, even the greats come out of retirement. Or especially the greats come out of retirement, I should say, because if you're not all that good, then why would you come back? All right, here comes AMS Huracan. Now up to third, able to get around Patches Riley with ease up to the NGK chicane. Not ramming, but shoving. I said shoving. I didn't say ramming. Did you say ramming? I didn't say ramming. Nobody said ramming. Well, that's too bad. Is that a temporary? I'm guessing there. Hear the fun. AMS Huracan now up to second, able to get around Modern Weapon and across the line for the beginning of lap number 2. What a beautiful day. Look at the blue skies. You got the clouds up there, the helicopters circling above, the fans over in the grandstands having a jolly old time. Somebody's riding the roller coaster, I bet. I bet. Put your hands up in the chat if you're riding the roller coaster. Here comes AMS Huracan. Now they're back through turn number 2 again. Up to 3. Oh, look at this. AMS Huracan to the inside of Audrex. The chunk livery that Audrex is sporting. And just like that, that 1973 car, the 1973 RX3 with the number 99 number plate, moves up to first. Only a 7-day. Well, that's good. Now you've learned your lesson there, Fear the Fun. You've learned your lesson. Here comes AMS Huracan now. He's going to lead them through Ford Curve. Pretty much everybody on pace at the moment. We only have one car that's really trailing behind. It's going to be Mega Chen there in 11th. Not entirely sure what happened there. Let's go to Cratrium. Cratrium is going to be your the driver to watch for here to contest AMS Huracan. Cratrium, who has followed in the shadow of LS Subaru all throughout season 44, currently finds himself behind LS Barney and in front of Ubernuts. Riding on board now with Cratrium. Couple of cars running wide there through the first part of the NGK chicane. And as a result, Cratrium grabs at least one spot. There's Modern Weapon on the low line, side by side with LS Barney as they hit the front straightaway. And across the line, lap number 3. Let's go to Audrex in second, trying to keep pace with Huracan. And Huracan has now already opened up about a 4 or 5 car length lead here very early on in the race. 40 laps is not what we'll be doing. 39, as I've said before. What will be interesting to see here is if the vehicles will have to stop for fuel. I asked at least one driver there in week number 4 as to whether or not a pit stop would be necessary here in week number 5, and the answer I got was, I don't know. We haven't tested it yet. So nobody really had or at least nobody that shared in the driver's spotlight post-race whether or not a pit stop would be needed here, but we'll keep our eye on that as we go on throughout the race. Thanks everybody who's tuned in. Good to see the numbers back up here today. Last week was a little strange. It was eerily quiet and a lot of technical difficulties. And so now that here we are in the finale, even though the championship's already been sorted, glad to have you all hanging out with me here. And by all means, if you've got something to chat about, throw it there in the pit lane or the chat, as it's known here on Twitch, and be happy to interact with you. And I'll throw some questions out there. I'll lob a few from time to time. Rolling through the field, AMS Huracan out in front in first. Audrex in second. Ubernuts is third. Cratrium in fourth. Barney in fifth. 6 is the Onion with Too Many Eyes. Cuda 93 in seventh. Modern Weapon in eighth. Slow Motion Fire in ninth. Patches Riley is 10th. And Mega Chin, unfortunately, just continues to see himself falling back here in 11th position. Let's go to LS Barney in 5th. Can we admit that Forza marshals are a joke, says Bishop. Oh, well, that's an interesting topic to bring up. I would say the intentions are good. You know, we've heard in so many communities spanning many different games on many different platforms how people just absolutely cannot bear the fact that folks do things on track, in race, on multiplayer, and get away with it. Well, the Forza Marshals program was intended to help solve that, or at least provide a means for punishment for those who decide to exercise themselves in an unsportsmanlike fashion out on the virtual circuit. And it was probably put in place to help kind of mitigate some of it too. Like that if you were in a lobby with one of these Turn 10 employee logos, badges next to their name, that you would try to mind your manners. That being said, there are probably many imperfections that haven't been worked out. And of course, the other difficulty with it, something that I don't know that you can work out, is that so long as it's a volunteer-based system, where you have marshals who are not incentivized by any means, or they're not incentivized is not the right word. They're not compensated for their time. That it means that there's probably a bit more subjectivity from marshal to marshal, because if they're all volunteer and they're not compensated, then you're probably a little bit loose with how you've written their job description, if you will. And because some of them may see this as an opportunity for them to have an impact on the community for one reason or another, may take their responsibility a little bit too seriously. Their volunteer responsibility. But that said, I think you have to start somewhere. I don't know that anybody in multiplayer racing for any game, anybody who's interested in the aspect of fair, clean racing. Oh, and there goes a bump. Onion tagging the backside of, was that LS Barney? I think it was. And I believe that was because LS Barney probably accelerated a bit too quick there out of turn number 4, losing the back end of his car. And as a result, Onion with too many eyes snagged one of the quarter panels. But as I was saying, you got to start somewhere. Like, nobody who's interested in having good, clean racing on multiplayer lobbies on any racing game, no matter if it's Forza, Gran Turismo, whatever the other ones are called, Project Cars and all that. Like, everybody wants clean, fair racing. And we all know that an automated system is very difficult to refine, to dole out punishments fairly. And so the Marshals program, I think, is in its infancy, obviously, and has a lot of developing to do. And I don't know, perhaps when Forza Motorsport, the next motorsport title, comes closer to release, maybe we'll learn more about the enforcement that's going to be employed or implemented into that title. That's my response. Those are my thoughts. Here comes Uber Nuts. Right there with Audrex in second, crossing the line for the beginning of lap number 6. I don't know. What do you all think? Those of you that are hanging out, watching the action. Drex, a little bit late on the braking, locks him up. Looked like he was going to slide wide, but rather he just kind of sneaks back over the old switcheroo there with Uber Nuts. They go side by side into turn number 3, out of turn number 2 into turn number 3 here at the Mercedes Arena. And now Cratrium rolls up onto the side of Audrex. He's going to have a go. And through the forward curve, here comes Cratrium. Well done. Nice pass. Now up to Dunlop. So for the time being, Audrex finds himself in 4th. Go take a look at that on the X-Venture replay. There goes Uber. And then let's see if the rewind lasts long enough to catch Cratrium's maneuver. At least the beginning part of it here, yep. Very well done. Green to checkered coverage all season long. Commentary, replays. Whatever else I could think of. Try to do it up here on X-Venture. Covering the Forza Spec Racing Series. I'm Dustin Moore. Hopefully you're having a good week here as we hit the as we near the midpoint of February, the very short month of February. 28 days. 4 whole weeks. Nothing more, nothing less. All right, so Audrex now moves up to 3rd with our race leader, Huracan, deciding, I believe, to go into pit lane. So, we're gonna work this out here. We're gonna do some mental gymnastics, or at least I'm going to try to do that as we take a look here at Cratrium. Vehicle situation, 100% fuel. So, I don't know if that's a glitched or what. 100% fuel, Uber Nuts. Did they just not have damage turned on, and did I miss something? Did Huracan lose batteries, or what happened? I completely missed it. The camera, I don't know, somebody's going to tell me I'm wrong, but I don't think the camera spotted what happened to Huracan. Like, I don't have the camera on Huracan, but I wonder if he was off to the side of the track and the camera just didn't catch it or what. I sure hope we get better camera views, or at least better camera options in the next Forza Motorsport title. I mean, some of these are good. Like, that one's pretty good. The nice wide-angle view of the Advan Bogan corner there. Turn number 12 now into the NGK chicane. Pretty good gas mileage, says DWM Frog. All right, let's see here. Fear the Fun says they don't even have to be in the lobby. They can send have a 3-second clip to send them. And just ban you for 7 days. I paid money for this game. Ranked, unranked, it's pretty easy. I hear you. I hear you, but I mean, it's a double-edged sword. Like, yeah, sure. All it takes is for somebody to send a 3-second clip. But I mean, you've already said that somebody cut the track, and that was your retaliation to them. So I mean, what it's going to boil down to is that they're going to say that you were in the wrong in that instance. And so, as punishments for on-track behavior become less automated and more reviewable, you're gonna have to take that into account and mind your P's and Q's in the chat in the lobbies. And I know that's sometimes hard to do because you're playing a virtual racing game. There really is no consequence for you ramming your vehicle into them. There's no safety or health concerns whatsoever. It's a way to take out some frustration if somebody's been cheating their way around the track. But again, people have been clamoring for something. This was Turd 10's response, and no, it's not perfect, but if you get caught, you're caught. And it'll be hard to refute that. I don't even think they take refutes. You just do the crime, you serve the time, and get your access back. I see it both ways because, yes, it sucks to have people cheating, not following proper motorsport etiquette on the track. But comes the caveat. If you try to take the matters in your own hands, that's the risk you take, is that the clip will catch you and you alone, and it's all the marshals will need. I like the discussion, though. I like the discussion. If there's anybody else that is a multiplayer type gamer, like, see, I'm very single player focused. I'm not skilled enough to poke my head into the multiplayer lobbies all that much. And so I stick to where I know I belong as we watch on Drex here in third. So if there's anybody else out there who has thoughts on like how the Marshal program is today, how you see maybe it getting better, or what other measures can developers put into racing games to combat cheating and reckless behavior? It's a very difficult problem to solve. I think we all have to admit that. It is a hugely difficult problem to solve. Nice little battle back here for 5th position. It's going to be LS Barney in 6th, Kuda in 5th, and then Slow Motion Fire in 7th. And here comes Slow Motion Fire to the outside of Barney. Decides not to carry that on into turn 5, now into 6. And Barney will stay out front for the moment. Around the horseshoe. Up onto the runoff area and that curbing. It's kind of tricky in this car. Like we've already heard folks talk about how this car has a tendency to oversteer and be twitchy. You get it up onto the curb, which these curbs here at the Nürburgring GP are not. They're not some of the flattest curbs, although these would be on the contrary. These are really flat curbs right through that section. But for the most part, this track is riddled with very steep curbs, and for a car that's already a little tricky to handle through the corners, hitting the curbing on entry or on exit can make it that much more difficult. There goes AMS Huracan, who's running back up through the field. Oh, Barney maybe taking a little bit of liberties there through the early part of the NGK chicane. It looked like maybe 3, possibly even 4 tires outside the white lines there. A feeble attempt. A feeble attempt at trying to stick with AMS Huracan, but as we'll see here over the course of this next lap, Huracan will unleash the beast and probably scoot on by pretty quickly. Already now about a car and a half length lead there through the Mercedes arena. So we've got a couple of packs out here. Uber Nuts is our race leader at the moment. Uber Nuts entered week number 5. 9th overall on the leaderboard. Behind Fear the Fun, Cuda 93, and Slow Motion Fire, among others. And now Cratrium goes ahead and takes the top spot for the moment. Sounds like they're bouncing off the rev limiter. I assure you they're not. Those are just audio glitches that exist here in the spectate mode of Forza. I would say Forza Motorsport 7, but it's really a glitch that's existed for, I think, as long as the franchise has been around. Running through the field here, Uber Nuts is in second, back behind Cratrium, as we see right now. Audrex in third, Onion with too many eyes in fourth, Huracan, who we saw make a move around LS Barney, is now heading down the back straightaway, chasing down Onion. Slow Motion Fire in 6th, Cuda 93 in 7th. Barney has fallen back to 8th position. Patches Riley in 9th with Modern Weapon. A nice little battle between those two. Those two actually started out on row number 1 together, because here in the finale of Season 44 in the Forza Spec Racing Series, the drivers with the fewest number of points actually started up front, and that would be these two. And so their battle continues, although not in the same way that this race initially started out. And back in 11th, and catching up is Megachin. Megachin. I just picture like a Buzz Lightyear type character, chiseled jaw and all that when I say Megachin. Megachin now off into the kitty litter. So much for catching up there to 10th and 9th. Let's go back up to the front of the pack here. It is Ubernuts who's fallen back a little bit here from Cratrium. Cratrium now going to start trying to establish a lead, and is going to need to do so if he's going to hold off MS Huracan for the next 28 laps or so. 27. Audrex, who held P1 there for a bit early on in the race. You see kind of lurking back there in third. Hasn't totally fallen out of the picture yet. Very consistent is Audrex, so if he can put together a good couple of laps here, then we may very well have a three-way battle for first. Although, keeping pace with Cratrium, who seems to be a man on a mission here to try and claim a victory in Season 44, when in any other league, Cratrium's performance probably could have netted him at least a win or two. In a season that's been dominated by LS Subaru, that was impossible to come by until now. LS Subaru sitting out this evening. Will be providing Slow Motion Fire with his car of choice for Season 45. And we'll have that action for you here on X-Venture. Like I said, starting maybe 3 or 4 weeks out from today, depending on when Slow Motion Fire and crew get things rocking and rolling. Let's see, here comes MS Huracan closing in on fourth position, which is currently occupied by Onion. Out of forward curve. if it's even called that anymore. I don't know. Some of these track maps that are online, I'm not entirely sure how old they are and whether or not they've been updated with the latest and greatest sponsorships. As we roll into the spring here, we're going to start hearing more about motorsports kicking off, to include the 24 hours of Nürburgring, 24 hours of Le Mans, and here comes Amos Huracan to the outside as they left the Michael Schumacher S's into turn number 10, and now up to 11. Warsteiner. Like I said at the beginning of the broadcast, if you'd like to race with the Forza Spec Racing Series, folks, head on over to reddit.com/r/FM4. Sure, Season 45 information is not posted yet. It will, with due time, but be a part of the FM4 community. Introduce yourself, ask any questions you might have, and let's get this lobby filled for Season 45. Let's get Week 1. Let's start week by week. One step at a time. Let's see if we can't get week number 1 of Season 45 filled to max capacity. That would be 23 drivers out on the track versus the 11 that we have here today. This series, this league has been up there, and not too long ago either. So it is easily doable. And then, like I said, I don't know. I'll think it over during the off season, but maybe I'll have some sort of incentive for the drivers who stay in the series in its entirety, all 5 weeks. Something like that. Oh, Onion off the track there, at least a couple, maybe one tire. I think one tire off into the dirt. The other one was just spooling up on the curbing. Let's go to second now. Uber Nuts behind Cratrium. As they come up to Warsteiner here on the backmost part of the Nürburgring GP track. Down the back straightaway through Advon Bogan up to NGK Chicane, and then from there, for those of you who are familiar with the track, you will know this already, but it's after the NGK Chicane here that you would take a left if we were on the full 24 hours of Nürburgring. You can see the road there on that last camera view, and even there, right there, you see the road darting off into the upper right corner of the screen. But no 24-hour Daytona circuit here today. No. I say Daytona, no 24 hours of Nürburgring circuit here today. Oh, we got a long loading screen there, so I think we probably lost somebody. That's usually a telltale sign. Amos Huracan, who I don't know what was going on early in the race that had him out of P1 when it looked like he was going to run away with it easily. Now it's DNF'd. MS Huracan there in the chat says, "Welp." What can you do, right? What can you do? Not much you could do about that. We did have some pretty significant server issues last week. Today seems to be running smooth. Huracan says, "I disconnected." There you go. Confirmation that the connection just gave up. And for those of you who might be new to virtual motorsports, that's really your online racing equivalent to a blown motor. You know, you see it in the real world motorsports. The motor goes kaplooey. Not much that can be done about that. Car goes into the paddock and race is over for the team. Same could be said here. Slow motion fire. We saw him start in 5th, dropped all the way back to 9th, now into 7th once again. Back behind LS Barney. Gamer Logic Sag. Oh, I totally forgot. I don't have when I use the chat pop out for the stream, I don't see the other emotes. A sad frog. Got so much fire now through the Michael Schumacher S's. Very tricky. It's maybe it's just me, but the Schumacher S's turn 8 and turn 9 are by far the most difficult for me on this track. They don't look it from our point of view here with the spectator mode, but you don't line that corner up. You've got a whole bunch of sand just waiting for you to the inside of 9. And then even if you do get it pointed in the right direction, if you come out of turn number 9 with too much speed, then you carry that off into the grass on the left side of the track. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? What's the most difficult corner out here at the Nürburgring GP? I don't know, maybe turn 1. Maybe a lot of folks would say turn 1. Turn 1 can be uber satisfying, but at the same time, it can also be pretty frustrating. You come in there carrying speed, and you think you line it up for the apex really well, and only to miss it. Like you thought you had a good approach, and then you run wide. Oh, okay. It looks like we might be. I think we're going to get a lobby reset here. Is what's going to happen. So Soul Motion Fire is going to go ahead and wrangle up the crowd and put them in order here, and we'll finish the back a little bit more than halfway. Or a little bit more than half of this race remaining. So there we go. Halftime. Let's get, ladies and gentlemen, our halftime show tonight will be brought to you by. I've got nothing. Well, I do have. No, I don't. I got to save that for later. I didn't plan for 2 ad breaks here today. So we'll just keep the action right here. Well, no, actually, I take it back. Let me go ahead and take a little bit of a break. I'm going to fill up the coffee mug here. It has depleted itself. No, of course it hasn't. I've done it. But let me get some coffee filled up there in the mug. The drivers will get back out here on the track in just a minute, and we'll see the back half of this race. We'll catch the entire thing in its entirety. I promise you, we won't miss anything. You're watching the Forza Spec Racing Series Season 44 finale here live on Twitch TV. Xventure, I'm Dustin Moore. We'll be right back. Make those emotes dance, by the way. Make them dance. Do it. Do it now. That's what I mean. Just throw them in the chat. They'll bounce around on the screen. Entertainment for the next 3 minutes. go. Now you're doing it. It only took 5 weeks. We had some fails. I did that. We had some can't drive 55s. A few yays. I'm optimistic. You all have me optimistic for season 45. We're going to turn it up in here. Oh, there you go. Whatever those are. Mohawk things. And welcome back for those of you who are watching the ads. Thank you so much. It does support the broadcast, even if you can't do it with a subscription. Hanging tight, bearing with me through the ads, and then coming back on the backside after those 3 minutes. I promise you, it helps out. It also prevents those who may be joining us a little bit later on in the stream from having to see those pre-rolls. You know, those pesky ads that show up when you load a stream and you miss the first 30 or 60 seconds of the broadcast. Guess what? We just eliminated that. Anybody who joins us later on should be able to jump right on into the action. So thank you so much for that. And for all of our subscribers here, I think we've got 10 at the moment. Thank you for your continued support of the broadcast, of the channel. It does help out a lot. It allows me to pay for licenses for music. That way I'm not abusing somebody's hard work. And maybe helping to contribute to their livelihood. So thanks for that. Much appreciated. All right, here we go. Back into the race. I told you we weren't going to miss anything. Dustin Moore never tells a lie. Loaded back up onto the track. Cratrim will be out in front, just as he was at the conclusion of those first 15 laps. So we'll have 25 to go here on the back half. Kick the tires, light the fires, part deuce. As we wrap up the season 44 1973 RX3 5-week journey out here at the Nürburgring GP. Let's go ahead and drop back a little bit. Put our camera at about mid-pack here with Onion. Too Many Eyes is going to get the Idea car. Not IKEA, but Idea car. Sideways, and oh, we've got a big crash. Huracan, who jumped back into the lobby after getting disconnected, finds himself sideways. And let's see here. It looks like he didn't catch a lot of cars and was able to make a pretty good recovery as he's out in front of Mega Chin there in 10th. Saved it. And now Huracan, who, by the way, Cratrim had thrown it out there during the break, saying that AMS Huracan is on a last to first challenge incoming. Yep, sure enough. Started out in last for the first 15 laps. Could have been in first at the end of those, but something happened along the way and then got disconnected. And now starting off in first with the back half. And no, they're not going to penalize him laps, so if he does get up there in first, he will be truly in first. LS Barney there in fifth. Onion with Too Many Eyes in fourth. Audrex in third. Oh, there goes Barney closing in on the back bumper of Onion really, really quickly as they head into turn number 11. Warsteiner back out onto the back straightaway up to turn number 12, which is Advin Bogan. And let's see here. We've also got Slow Motion Fire in the mix. They're in 6th position. So Slow Motion Fire moving up one spot from where we last saw him was in 7th. And now as they go into the NGK chicane, are they going to go side by side? They do. LS Barney to the inside. Now on the outside, Onion runs wide. I think he lost some traction there on the curbing. That put him up into the passenger side door panel of Barney. And now Barney falling back to 7th position. And we've got a vehicle, I believe, into pit lane. Yes, AMS Huracan must have sustained enough damage there at the beginning of the race. That or he's giving himself a penalty because of his disconnect. Maybe it's like a drive-through penalty there for Amos Huracan. Audrex in second. Ubernuts in third. We'll go check that battle back out there for fourth, fifth, and sixth. As a matter of fact, even seventh is Modern Weapon there is in the mix. Well, let's see here what happens with Ubernuts and Audrex. And while we do that, I think we can go to the X-Venture rewind, replay, to catch that bit of action there. That bit of excitement. And now here comes Audrex, Ubernuts side by side through turn number 4, up to turn number 5 and 6. And Ubernuts is going to hold on to second position. Audrex, if you remember, just before we ended things there, the first half of the race, or just a little bit less than halfway through the first part of the race, Audrex was tailing Ubernuts. And now here comes Audrex. Pardon me, as you guys get to watch the replay on loop. Audrex getting around Ubernuts for second. Through the Schumacher S. Riding on board with Ubernuts. And now down the straightaway for lap number 3 of the 25 remaining here tonight. Into turn number 1, which I think used to be called Yokohama. But I believe Yokohama ended that sponsorship, those naming rights. Let's go to Onion with Too Many Eyes in 6th. Got Patches Riley there in 7th, Modern Weapon in 8th. This group holding together quite well, at least 3 laps in, or just now starting lap number 3. By the way, I completely missed it. It was happening during the countdown, so my apologies to Whiskey Brat 96. I hope maybe you're still here. Thank you so much for the follow. Whiskey Brat 96. Hope y'all are having a wonderful week here. It is a Tuesday, but that means tomorrow is a Wednesday. That's how weeks work. That's how the calendar works. You didn't need me to tell you that. What I do need to tell you about that you may or may not know is what we've got in store here on the channel in the coming days, and even better, over the next week and a half or so. Hang tight. I'll tell you what I mean here as we wrap up this broadcast after the racing. We've got plenty of racing left to go, so don't let me make you think that things are almost done. Oh, and so much should fire. Forgot how to use the steering wheel. No, that's probably not the case. More likely he locked up the brakes, went into the grass, and just kept sliding. And so a little bit of a shortcut. A little bit of shortcut there through the NGK chicane is Slow Motion Fire's line, but jumps right back behind Onion with Too Many Eyes, so as not to take advantage of that little John Deering action. There goes Whiskey Brat saying, "All good, dude." No problemo. As a matter of fact, hold on. We got to do this right. We got to do this right for you. Not only did you follow at the beginning of the broadcast and I missed it, but you didn't get the proper alert, the associated alert. Here you go. There you go. Little air wrench, Whiskey Brat 96 there in the lower graphic. And anybody else who might be watching and has not yet committed to clicking that follow button, I don't know how else to convince you. I'm doing the best I can here tonight. I really am. My best is probably not your best, but I'm trying. I'm trying. And if you acknowledge that much, please click that follow button. That way I know you are, in fact, enjoying your time here, and then we look forward to seeing you back for a future stream. Hey-ya! I don't know. Just like a ninja kick there for you. All right, through the Schumacher S's goes Onion with Too Many Eyes as the field starts to kind of thin out here through the top 5. Let's go to Patches Riley and Modern Weapon. Dare I say, the best battle on the track all race? These two started out the evening's festivities on row number 1. And here they are, bumper to bumper, 6th and 7th, Modern Weapon and Patches Riley, respectively. Modern Weapon, one of the longtime veterans here of the Forza Spec Racing Series. Aye, awesome, says Whiskey Brad. You bet. You bet. And now into turn number 15, what used to be, or at least according to my notes, is known as Coca-Cola Curve. I don't see any signage there here in Forza Motorsport 7. So again, I don't know how recent the track map that I'm using, or how up to date the track map that I'm using is. Gosh, I sure hope nobody asked me to do anything more professional than this, because my note taking is the bare minimum. I got the day job, and then I come home, I scramble. Preparation? You want me to do preparation for the commentary? Heck, sometimes I barely remember where the start streaming button is. LS Barney in 4th. Onion with Too Many Eyes in 5th. Modern Weapon is 6th. Patches Riley in 7th. We're watching Audrex right now. The driver to watch, and I've got my little indicator on the car and the track map there in the bottom left, is AMS Huracan in 9th, now just entering turn number 5. However, could be on the mad dash toward the front, and we'll have to see if AMS Huracan can turn this thing into a win here on the final few laps. Kuda 93 is in 10th, Mega Chin in 11th. That's AMS Huracan, the, I don't know what, the 2-time champ here in the Forza Spec Racing Series, or maybe even 3 or 4, just not consecutive. I think it's 2 consecutive, and then maybe not a third, but rather a third separately. Maybe. I don't know. If Big J Bishop is still here, he can be my my fact checker. Yeah, right. Here the Fun don't want no part of that. Audrex out of DNGK chicane. Would have been funny if Slow Motion Fire threw them all for a loop and made it a deluge out here for the back half of this race. Just decided to go ahead and drop the rain from the heavens. It is an option here in Forza Motorsport 7, this track. The rain option. Also nighttime. Although nighttime makes it a little bit more difficult for us to see all the fun stuff that's going on. Let's go back to Modern Weapon now. Modern Weapon behind Patches Riley. So I think these two were flip-flopped a lap or two ago. I'm going to go ahead and throw a... let's see if I can do this. Will it mess up the stream? Oh, it's not going to. Let's throw a predictor in here. Will AMS Huracan win the race? Will AMS Huracan win the race? We'll throw that one up there for 15 minutes. You guys tell me. Can Huracan barge his way up through the field despite a disconnect and whatever else happened earlier on in this thing and still come away with the win? Use your channel points. They have no monetary value. You can't redeem them for a Krispy Kreme or Dr. Pepper or anything like that. Like they're non-redeemable for anything outside of whatever streamers choose to use channel points for. And right now for this channel, not really much of anything. So might as well wager away. Yes or no. And you can use as many as you like. I implore you. There we go. We got somebody saying yes, although not incredibly decisive with that one. 50 channel points. Just 50. Oh, here we go. Side by side. This battle for sixth continues to wage on here. Modern Weapon looked like he was going to take advantage there through turn number 12, Advin Bogan, as Patches Riley seemed to be a little bit on the high side. And instead, Modern Weapon just going to chill there in 7th. He's got to be careful with that chilling, though, because Slow Motion Fire in 8th, you'll see him to come into view there in the background as they hit the back straightaway for lap number 7. For all intents and purposes of the current broadcast. The racing that you see right now versus what we had a little bit earlier on. Oh, Patch is getting a little squiggly coming out of turn number 2. That's going to allow Modern Weapon go to the inside. Got a little bit of a hump here, so let's see what happens. Are they going to make contact? Sometimes if you take that inside line, that hump is a bit more ferocious there through turn number 4. And it can upend your vehicle a little bit if you've got enough speed going. I don't know if the RX-3 is able to muster enough to get a couple of wheels off the ground, but it could shoot you off to the side of the track. Not the case there. Rather, Modern Weapon will just go ahead and cruise along where he's at. Now through the Dunlop Horseshoe. Fans here in Forza Motorsport 7, at least in the horseshoe section, being very, very mindful of their social distancing. Elsewhere in the grandstands, not so much. Why is that? Why is the rest of the track so populated? And then you get through the Dunlop curve, that huge grandstand section there at turn number 7, and there's barely anybody there. What were those tickets? Like some ridiculous price tag? What happened? All right, let's go to Slow Motion Fire here. Try to make a move on Patches. Look at that livery. Has Slow Motion Fire been driving that livery all season long? Huh. Looks good. I don't remember it, but it looks good. And back underneath the sheer driving pleasure BMW signage. Here on the front straightaway across the line. Lap number 8 of 25. Super Bowl prizes for those seats. Yeah, no kidding. Jeez. The only thing that saves, well, I shouldn't say that. I'm guessing the people who have enough money to spring for a Super Bowl ticket probably aren't going to be hurt much by not having to pay for a hotel. But if you're there in the LA area rooting on your LA team, well, I guess you don't have to worry about a room. But man, are those tickets pricey. All right, somebody says that somebody went with 10K. Somebody went with 10K and said no. MS Huracan will not win this race. What are you thinking about, Dustin? Why are you even asking this question? With certainty, absolute certainty, Huracan's not going to win this one. Okay, well, let's watch and see. Let's see what happens here. As Slow Motion Fire now coming out of the Dunlop section, and you see AMS Huracan with the carbon fiber wrap on that 73 RX3. And now Slow Motion Fire patches Riley side by side into turn number 10. Well, they were going to be. Slow Motion Fire let off a little bit. Rather is going to push the issue here at turn number 11. Warsteiner, you see some sparks there. Here comes in the inside. It's AMS Huracan. He's going to make a double pass here on both Slow Motion Fire, patches Riley through Admin Bogan, and now is going to make the charge toward 6th position, currently occupied by Modern Weapon. And we've got somebody just kind of stalled out there on the front straightaway. That's going to be Mega Chen. Just look at the flowers, Mega. Just look at the flowers. And so here comes AMS Huracan. Not yet around. Modern for 6th. And let's see. I think he's going to secure it here through turn number 1, formerly known as Yokohama. And into the Mercedes Arena turn number 2, followed by 3 before you... I don't know. This is the main circuit, but, you know, the 24-hour circuit has you cutting this whole section. I'm not sure why they do that. Why the 24-hour layout forgoes turn number 2 and number 3. It's like they said, yeah, you know, there's just too many corners here on the Grand Prix circuit. We're just going to have them cut through and get straight over to the straightaway between turn 4 and 5. Oh, somebody, it's like somebody ejected themselves off the track there. Well, maybe not. Just the way that the camera was situated. And now we've got a loading screen. What's going to happen here? Well, AMS Huracan is still out on the track. That might have been Mega Chen calling it a night. I think so. Kuda 93 will be the caboose for the time being in 10th position. Slow Motion Fire in 9th, patches Riley in 8th, Modern Weapon in 7th, Huracan now in 6th. And so Huracan has open air to try to catch back up with the top 5, that being Onion with Too Many Eyes in 5th. 4th is LS Barney, Audrex in 3rd, Ubernuts in 2nd, and Cratrium in 1st. Back to Patches in 8th. Whoa! Check those brakes. Slow Motion Fire maybe late again. We saw him skirting through the grass at the NGK chicane a few laps back, and this time maybe missing his mark once again. Battery's just pushing the boundaries of what the RX3 can do on that particular part of the track. You've got a few minutes remaining here to cast your channel points as to whether or not you think AMS Huracan is going to win this race. He's currently in 6th, so use that intel for what you will. We're going to hang out here with the battle for 7th. Oh, look at that switchback. Coming out of 1, Slow Motion Fire looked like he didn't have a great line, and then Patches Riley came out wide, allowing Slow Motion Fire to go to the inside. And then Slow Motion Fire looking a little unkempt there, going into 3rd. Kind of an odd approach to turn number 3, but was able to get it sorted out nonetheless. And now back into 8th position. How about we hang out with Patches Riley a bit, or go for a ride and see the action before him. Slow motion fire, they're hanging two tires, two wheels, that is. Getting the two left-hand side, driver's side wheels up off the ground there through the first part of the NGK chicane. And that was interesting. From locking up the brakes and going into the grass to getting two up in the air, Slow Motion Fire has had quite an artful way of closing out each lap. And is able to hold on to 8th right now. Yeah, there, PWM Fog saw it. Once again, I am Dustin Moore. Appreciate you being here, supporting the stream with your viewership. I was saying, hey, let's get a full lobby for season 45, but also for those of you who rather be on this side of the racing action. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I learned long ago that I don't have the skills to be out here on the track with these guys and gals. So if you, like me, would rather watch the racing each and every Tuesday of the Forza Spec Racing Series, all 5 weeks worth of racing, send your buddies, your friends, your family, your foes, the 3 Fs. That's what I call it, the 3 Fs. Send them my way. I'll try to entertain as much as I can. But the more folks we have here on the broadcast, I guarantee you the more fun we have. We've seen it in the past. And that's not to knock the lurkers. I'm a big-time lurker when it comes to watching streams myself, but when we do get more folks in here and we get a little bit of a chatter going, then I think everybody wins. Even those of you who like to lurk, you kind of see the discussion going. Get to see other people's thoughts of the racing action or anything else. Maybe thoughts on real-world motorsports or other gaming events or titles, whatever the case may be. Season 45 should be getting kicked off here in about 3 or 4 weeks. Reddit.com/r/FN4 is where all the details will be posted. And then you can also follow me. Whoop. Apparently I'm trying to pull up Reddit there in my Windows toolbar. You can also follow me on Twitter. Let's see, I think I have a command for it. There you go. And so I like to post information about the upcoming season and everything there. So, yeah. Do the thing. Click the buttons if you wish. If not, I understand. Can't please everyone. Can't speak either. Oh, we got a few points coming in here, channel points on the wager. With the few minutes remaining, heading in favor of Amos Huracan winning this race. Now, mind you, sure, we still have a lot of racing left. We still have about, what, 13 laps or so to go. But Huracan right now still in 5th, although is catching up with Onion with too many eyes. And then Third, a little bit further ahead, Audrex. And then Ubernuts and Cratrim, second and first, respectively. Huracan's gonna have to be a hard charger to close that gap. But if there's anybody out on the track who can do it, it's your man, Huracan. He's gonna hate me for that, by the way. Is he a Huracan or a Hurricane? Which one is it? Well, there we go. The channel points have been locked up, or the predictor's been locked up, and those of you who cashed your points are locked in. We've got 57% of the channel points wagered, saying that no, Huracan will not win this race, and 43% of those channel points, or 11.4, total wagered by 3 of you, saying that, oh, no. Huracan's got this. Watch it unfold before your eyes. Beyond the racing content that you're seeing here tonight, I have other things that happen on throughout the week. I will mention those. I'll tell you what's on the agenda here at the end of the broadcast. You can also click any one of the boxes that you see down below in the About section. Those will lead you to the schedule here on the channel. Don't do it now, though. Don't do it now. If you do it now, it'll just close your browser and you won't be able to watch the rest of the race. I kid, but hang tight, and I'll tell you the schedule myself. Got some cool stuff coming up this weekend and next week. Yeah, Huracan or Hurricane. We're about to find out. He gets a couple of wheels up on the curbing there through the first part, that being turn number 8 of the Schumacher S. And with that, gets around Onion with too many eyes for 4th place. Has broached the top 5. Well, he was on it. He was in the top 5 there not long ago, but now he's within at P4. Let's take a look at that here on the X-Venture replay. Oh yeah, I was on it with this replay. Press the button at the right time. I'm earning my keep here today. Maybe, I don't know. Does the replay last long enough? There he goes, and yep, kind of does a bit of a curb hop there out of 8, and now across the line. He's gonna touch grass. Isn't that the new meme these days? Tell somebody to go outside and touch grass. Well, there goes Huracan. Kick the dirt up down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Lap number 14 of 25. That 26th lap that you see there in the upper left, that is a cool-down lap. So we'll only be racing to the end of lap 25. Things starting out a little bit differently than how they normally go throughout the first 4 weeks of the Forza Spec Racing Series. The first 4 weeks, the grid order is determined by qualifying position. Here in the 5th and final race of the season, or excuse me, the 9th and final race of the season in week number 5, they go based on your points total, your season or your championship points coming into the final week, from fewest to most. So the drivers who had the most points entering tonight started at the back of the pack. LS Subaru would have been the very back of the pack here for the start of this one, but has opted not to participate and has foregone the opportunity to win all 9 races here in season 44. Shame. Shame. Into turn number 10 goes Huracan. Got Audrex up there a bit. Let's go to 7th with Modern Weapon. This is a really good battle back here. I can't understate it or overstate it. I can only properly state it as a a wonderful battle. One in which right now Modern Weapon is winning, and that is a battle between he and Patches Riley. It is Slow Motion Fire, however, who's got the best of both of them, running in 6th. Let's see how Slow Motion Fire approaches the NGK chicane this go around. He's had a few little instances of uncertainty here. This time, the front brake disc's glowing. He's got a couple of tires off the ground there through turn, would that be 14? And now into the Coca-Cola curve with a K, because it's German. So, curve with a K, and now out onto the front straightaway, lap number 15. 11 to go. I only do it once per broadcast. I probably actually averaged less than once per broadcast. But if you've already followed the channel and you are enjoying your time here, perhaps consider using your Amazon Prime or your Twitch Prime. It's actually when you link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. Don't worry. Amazon is a parent company of Twitch. So it's all right to share the data. They know it already anyway. If you link your account, you can get one free monthly subscription. I say free, but you put that in quotes because you're paying for your Amazon Prime account, which then nets you a subscription here on Twitch. Link those accounts, and you can use that Twitch Prime subscription here on the channel, should you choose. And even if you don't have a Amazon Prime account, or maybe you use your Amazon Prime or your Twitch Prime subscription elsewhere, a monetary subscription definitely helps the channel production-wise. As I mentioned earlier, it can pay the wonderful artists of the music that I play here on the channel their licensing fees. That way, all the music played here on the channel is not hit with the ban hammer or the DMCA strike, and it helps helps with a little bit of a payout to those artists who, sure, it's not the popular music you'll hear on the radio or in the movies or anything like that, but it's music that helps get me hyped up for the stream each time. Wait, your Prime account gives you a free sub? I've been on Twitch for years. Why did I just find that out? Well, there you go, Whiskey Brat. You click that link that Nightbot just dropped in there, twitch.amazon.com. It'll give you the details. And just like that, Whiskey Brat with the subscription. Not even a Prime subscription, just going all out there with the Tier 1. Thank you so much. The sub pitch, successful today. Thank you there, Whiskey Brat 96. Greatly appreciate it. And you got the pit alarm. So you got the air wrench earlier. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Are the alarms coming through? I've had some changes to my OBS settings, so I hope maybe you heard the pit alarm there, announcing your entry. DWM Frog says, yes, we heard it. All right, Audrex here in third. Second is occupied by Ubernuts and Cratrium in first. So, with 10 laps remaining, can AMS Huracan jump 3 spots to win the race? When the champion of Season 44 opts out and decides not to try to sweep the series, the next best possible storyline I can come up with is can can somebody come from all the way in dead last to first within this race? Whiskey Brad heard him as well, and there you go. You get the crash dummy X Venture emote for your first month. I'm not insinuating you're a dummy. I'm only saying it's the crash dummy colors there, black and yellow. And you can enjoy the emotes. I mean, they're not the greatest emotes that you'll find across Twitch, but you've now added them to your Twitch chat repertoire. Ubernuts in second is about, I don't know, my eye tells me maybe about 2 or 3 seconds behind Cratrium, our race leader at the moment. Y'all can pay attention to the time behind leader up at the top. Right now it shows AMS Huracan 30 seconds. 30 seconds behind Cratrium right now, time-wise. And you can run the algorithm, the arithmetic, to see if whatever AMS Huracan's average lap time is divided by the number of laps we have remaining and how much distance he is behind time-wise, those 30 seconds, whether or not he's got enough laps to make it happen. LS Barney says, Dustin, watch me as I go through the chicane. This lap, I want to clip it. All right. I suppose we could take requests. LS Barney. I don't know what chicane you're referencing, though, so we'll keep the camera here for a bit. Hopefully you don't clip it when you're getting passed by Cratrium in first. Then you'll have a clip of you going through the chicane and getting lapped. That's okay. That's okay. It doesn't matter how quick or how slow you are here in the Forza Spec Racing Series. They welcome drivers of all skill levels. All you have to do is race clean. Reddit.com/r/FM4. Go there. Figure out. Find your place in this series. Make it a goal for your inaugural season with FM4 to try to be on our top 20 leaderboard. That's my challenge to you. Step one, race in season 45. Step two, actually, hold on. Let's make it a 3-step thing because, you know, everything is good with like 3 bullets, 3 steps. Step one, race in season 45. Step two, race in all 5 weeks of season 45. And step number 3, find yourself on the top 20 of the leaderboard that we preview each and every Tuesday night before the racing action gets going. Man, look at LS Barney's vehicle. That thing is beat up. Somebody gave Barney a walloping there on his car as he comes up to the NGK chicane. Here you go. It's the big... Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, clip it. Nah. Oh, yes. There you go. Hey, I can appreciate that level of entertainment. All right, now back to where the real racing is here. Odds Rex in third. He's got AMS Huracan closing in with a quickness. Closing in with a quickness is AMS Huracan. Let's go take a look at the X Venture rewind there of LS Barney and the tomfoolery at the NGK chicane. Shame on you, sir. Shame. That is worth at least a deduction of 10 points. There you go. You didn't land it. You didn't land it, so the judges from Norway are going to give you a 4. Since we're here in the spirit of the Winter Olympics. Norway gives you a 4. All right, there goes AMS Huracan, giving a little bit of a love tap there to Audrex on the driver's side door panel. That chonk livery now with a scratch there. And just like that, AMS Huracan goes from the back of the pack for the second time in this race to now into the top 3, a podium spot if he can hold on to it. Can he catch up to Kratrum in first? That's going to be that's a difficult chore right now. I mean, we are 7 laps out from the end of this race. That is going to be a difficult chore here for Huracan. Kratrum's pace has just been solid. Same could be said for Uber Nuts. I mean, even if Huracan gets second, that'll be impressive. Nobody will take this league seriously there, Barney, with that clip floating around. Nor will they take this channel seriously. You've disparaged us all. LS Barney getting some air, some hang time. They're on lap, whatever that was, 18, 17. Yeah, this is gonna be very difficult because Kratrum is entering what used to be known as the Yokohama turn number 1, now entering the Mercedes Arena, and AMS Huracan just now coming out of turn number 15, the Coca-Cola curve with a K down the front straightaway underneath the BMW signage, and across the line for the beginning of lap number 20. Lap numero 20. Nightbot, I already did the whole spiel. You don't have to. Of course, Nightbot's going to come in here after I said that I only put the request out there once per stream, and then Nightbot's like, "Hey, watch, I can copycat you." Thanks, Nightbot. I want to see here in 2022. I think the most channel subscriptions that we've had to this channel was last year, I think it was. And it was close. I think it was actually just above 63. Now, a good deal of those were thanks to Carryout, who you see there at the top of the chat with 62 total gifted subs. I think Not So Tin Men may have been a contributor to a few of those last year as well. But yeah, we were up there in the 60s, and now that I've returned, I'll see if we can't try to get back up there. Because I feel like I've got some good content coming y'all's way here throughout the year. It's very early. We're only halfway through month number 2. MS Huracan actually looks to be a bit off the pace here on lap 20. That or Kratrum has really stepped it up a notch because, yeah, Kratrum into turn number 1 and AMS Huracan just now coming out of the NGK chicane. And I bring that up. I only bring that up in terms of number of concurrent subscriptions here on the channel, or yeah, concurrent, is that I always love to give back to the channel, and so, or give back to the viewers. Give back to the viewers. And so if we get to a point where, yeah, I'm able to take some of that Twitch revenue and turn it back around in the form of a giveaway, I will certainly do that. It's always fun to see the hype around giveaways. MS Huracan now out of turn number 4. Good racing tonight. I mean, it is the finale in a season where the championship has already been confirmed. Good, fun, clean racing. Those are all accurate descriptors for FM4 throughout the season. They consider themselves a beer league, so not taking it so serious that that you come out here feeling like it's a chore, or feeling like, you know, no matter how good you do, you just never feel good about your performance. No. On the contrary. Au contraire. You can come out here with the security knowing that, you know, as long as you're having fun, everybody else is having fun. You don't have to be competing for the top spot. Week in, week out, or at all. You don't have to be posting the best lap times. But if you can keep your racing clean, and by that I mean you're just not... You can have as many offs on the track as your skill level will lend itself to having. But as long as you're not impeding the progress of oncoming traffic, you're good. And that just means being aware of your surroundings, kind of keeping an eye on the track map or on your rearview mirror in game, whatever it is that you use to kind of spot yourself on the track because you don't have any other spotters available to you. Maybe it's using the UI in the game that's built into the game. That can help out too. As long as you're using that to kind of navigate out of the way of oncoming traffic. And you don't have to jump out of the way. You don't have to be like driving yourself off the track and into a wall. It's just knowing where the racing line is and just kind of giving way to faster traffic. That's all that's expected of you. Promise you. Oh, by the way, 1-Up Lion. I totally missed it. Well, I was talking about something and I heard the wrench go off. 1-Up Lion 9417. Thank you so much for the follow. My apologies for the delay in thanking you. There was something that I was in the middle of. I heard the air wrench and then I just never came back to the notification. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to cast any doubt on Huracan, but right now it is a. I feel like it's a stretch to think that Huracan can come back to win this one at this juncture of the race, as our race leader Cratrim about to come across the line for the beginning of lap number 23 of what originally was 39 laps, and then MS Huracan disconnected through the first 15, and so they went ahead and jumped out of the lobby and restarted things. And so with 3 laps remaining of the 25 here tonight, Cratrim out in front, Ubernuts in second, MS Huracan in third, Audrex in fourth, Onion with Too Many Eyes in fifth, Modern Weapon in sixth, Soul Motion Fire in seventh, Patches Riley in eighth, Kuda 93 in ninth, and Ellis Barney, who gave us a bit of a show there a few minutes ago, rightfully in 10th. You deserve every bit of being in 10th right now, Barney. Let's see. Let's go to Ubernuts here, who is still trailing by about 3 or 4 seconds. It's been pretty consistent. Yeah, as a matter of fact, you see it right there. Time intervals just a hair over 4 seconds behind Cratrim. And unless Cratrim has some sort of mistake, Ubernuts will probably finish out here as he gets through the Michael Schumacher S's, or S, I should say. Not S's, but just one. All right, quickly, let's go to 7th. Modern Weapon. It really has been quite a foray here in this battle for 6th. I'm not saying that they've changed positions a lot, but these three have consistently been racing around each other. Soul Motion Fire, Modern Weapon, and, well, Patches Riley would be the other name. Right now it is Modern Weapon. And, or excuse me, Barney. Sorry, Barney. And it's Barney who's actually coming back up through the field now a lap down. Patches Riley a little bit further back. They're in 8th, just now exiting the Dunlop Horseshoe. Barney a little bit sideways, putting some drift skills to work here. Let's go to Uber Nuts, who's actually closed the gap a little bit here. Gets 2 wheels up into the air through turn number 4. That's where I told you there's that bump there. If you're not careful, the closer you get to the apex in that corner, the steeper that bump is. And so Uber Nuts getting a little bit of hang time. And even though he has closed the gap a bit, Krachim just goes ahead and opens it back up. Like it was a temporary thing there where Uber Nuts was about maybe 2 seconds behind. Now that gap is increased back to 3 or 4. We'll go back to that battle for 6th, 7th, and 8th in just a bit here on this final lap, but we do want to see what happens here in the top 2. If anything, I'd hate to turn away and then something happen. In the top 2. Out onto the front straightaway. The white flag flies for Krachim, who's out in front. Uber Nuts in 2nd. This is the 25th and final lap here. And actually the 39th in total when you combine the first part of the race. The first 14. It actually didn't race 15 laps. They canceled out on the 15th lap. They had 14 recorded laps there before they restarted here for the back half. And on lap 25, here comes Uber Nuts again. Maybe Uber Nuts is just a bit better through turn 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it's here through 5 and 6, the forward curve that Krachim pulls away again. Yes, I do see it. There's a nice battle for 6th right now. Soul Motion Fire and Modern Weapon. I'll come back to it here as quickly as I can. Just wanting to exercise caution and not jumping away from the top 2. Out of Schumacher for the last time here tonight into turn number 10. Warsteiner. Back straight away with a little bit of a dog leg here. Turn 12 at Von Bogen. Thankfully, the Forza server is holding up for us tonight, with the exception of AMS Huracan's disconnect. Now in through what is the NGK chicane, 13 and 14. And the final right-hander, turn number 15, Coca-Cola curve out onto the front straightaway. Krachim, for the first time here in season 44, comes away with the win. There we go. We put the camera. Give Kraytrim a little bit of camera love, camera time. Ubernuts in second. Huracan will finish third. Audrex in fourth. Onion with too many eyes in fifth. Soul Motion Fire currently in sixth. Has not secured the sixth place finish because he's got Modern Weapon back behind him in seventh as they come out of Dunlop. Into the Schumacher S. Can Soul Motion Fire hold on to it? Soul Motion Fire actually coming into week number 5, 6th overall in points, in front of Kuda 93, Fear the Fun, Ubernuts, and Patches Riley. So this would be a solid finish here for Modern with maybe an opportunity to jump up a spot on the overall leaderboard into the top 5. It all depends on how the drop week rule affects everybody, which Soul Motion Fire will calculate all that here this evening for the official final tally. And it looks like Modern Weapon will stay in 7th. MS Huracan says the transmission damage is great. Oh, so that might have been what kept Huracan from making any great progress toward the front of the pack. Transmission damage. Patches Riley in 8th. Kuda 9th. And that leaves Ellis Barney for 10th position. All right, folks, we're going to go ahead and run commercial break one more time here, the ad break. Then we'll come back. We'll talk to some of our drivers in the driver spotlight. I'll preview what's ahead here on the channel for the next week and a half. And then that'll be it. That'll be a wrap. Finished on 56% damage to the transmission. Oh, my gosh. The fact that you were able to do as good as you did with 56% damage is impressive. I'm not even mad. I'm impressed. Ate the whole wheel of cheese? Gamer Logic for the win says, hee, give me them channel points. Yes, in fact, MS Huracan unable to win that one. And so Gamer Logic, who apparently was had the sole wager that Huracan would not win that race. Congratulations. There you go. Yes, I'm going to run some ads here. And like I said, we'll come back, talk to the drivers here to put the official nail in the coffin here on Season 44. You're watching the Forza Spec Racing Series on Twitch TV. I'm Dustin Moore. This is X Venture. We'll be right back. you go. Slow motion fire knows what to do. Letting the emotes tap dance all across the screen. Trying to make this a tradition, folks, without even having to say it. All right, it's late in the evening. I get it. We'll get it figured out next season. We'll have the emotes dancing all over the place. Oh, there you go. I don't even know what that one is. 2020 Unity. Okay. And we're back here on X-Venture, season number 44. All said and done. Our champion, who was not present here this evening, LS Subaru, getting 3 straight, by the way, dating back to season 43 there. Actually, season 42. Season 42, 43, and 44. LS Subaru is the champion. We'll pick the vehicle. I say will, not wheel. Not as in we get to pick the vehicle, but Subaru will pick the vehicle for season 45. And who knows, maybe it'll be a vehicle that's more up your alley. Perhaps it'll be higher on the Forza Motorsport 7 Performance Index spectrum. That remains to be seen. They race as high up as S-Class here in the Forza Spec Racing Series. So who knows? Who knows where things are going? I don't even know that Soul Motion Fire, the organizer here of FM4, even knows what that vehicle is, unless Subaru's kind of already in advance provided that notification. But we'll see. I'm anxious. I'm curious. But with due time, we'll find out what that car is. As a matter of fact, if you are interested in racing the Forza Spec Racing Series and you want to pick a track out of the 9 races that will be season 45, if you want to pick one of the tracks, then make sure you head on over to reddit.com/r/FM4, because once LS Subaru has picked that vehicle, they will tell Soul Motion Fire. Soul Motion Fire will take some will do some macro photography of that vehicle. So very scant details of what the car is. If you guess it correctly in the subreddit, reddit.com/r/FM4, Nightbot has the link for you there. If you guess it correctly, then you get to pick one of the tracks for the 9 races in season 45. That could be an advantage to you. It could be a chance for you to just pick something wonky, crazy, fun. They've really run the gamut here in terms of the different tracks in Forza Motorsport 7. I don't know that anything is really off limits. Even the longer tracks, the Nürburgring, Nordschleife, the Le Mans, Circuit de la Sarthe, they've all been raced here in FM4. So have your pick of the litter if you compete in season 45 and guess the car correctly that LS Subaru has selected. And as a matter of fact, LS Subaru there in the chat saying, I've already made my decision. So there you go. The car has been chosen. Get to guess in here in a couple of days' time, and then we'll see you in season 45. All right. He's labeled as the rain expert in Discord, but that might have to switch over to the acrobatics, not expert, but at least exercising that ability here out at the Nürburgring GP. It's LS Barney. Welcome to the driver's spotlight. You're just fooling around out there today.
Yeah, originally I was trying to actually race, but then eventually I just got bored. It was a long race, and it felt even longer every lap I did. So eventually I just ended up giving up and just decided I was just going to fly.
Hey, we were having fun here on the broadcast before your shenanigans started, so I don't know what you're talking about in terms of boredness.
Listen, you guys may have had fun, but I was very much alone.
Very much alone. Well, that's sad. That's sad. I'll get all of the sad emotes in the chat. I don't have any sad emotes, but I'm sure you can find some there in the Twitch world. You entered. What actually is sad is you entered week number 5 in 4th position. Depending on your drop week, this could have implications in terms of how far you fall in the overall leaderboard.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna drop. I think this is. I didn't score last week, so I wasn't here.
That's
So
right.
I don't have another drop week, so it's definitely gonna hurt. But I mean, the season's over. What's gonna happen?
It's never over until it's over, Barney. It goes all the way to the end. Talking with LS Barney here in the driver's spotlight. What are your thoughts on this being the final race with the 73 Mazda RX-3?
Good. I don't want it. I'm done with it now.
It's a good riddance moment for you, huh?
Yeah, it's not like it was a bad car. It was a fun car to drive. I'm just, as with the race, bored of it.
What would you express these feelings with the car with your teammate LS Subaru, or do you just kind of hope that maybe the selection's a bit different here going into season 45?
I don't think I have any choice in it. As he's already said, he's already decided in the next car. So I mean, I don't think there's much I can do to sway him in a different direction.
Not necessarily sway him, but like I guess you could be hopeful. Like where do you want? Let's start with PI first. Where would you want to be? Are you okay with it being C class like we had here, or would you want to do you want to see it go up a little bit here in season 45?
I always liked the S class cars, like the
Yeah.
EV110
Hmm.
and the Porsche Carrera. Those were both really fun cars. But then also like the B class cars, those can always have good racing. So either S or B class is where I'd hope to be at.
The higher performance index cars can be a little bit tricky here in a beer league where if somebody makes a mistake, it oftentimes spells doom and gloom for the rest of the race because then everybody else is off with their blistering pace. But hey, no better way to get familiar with those higher performing vehicles than here in the Forza Spec Racing Series. So if that happens to be a case, don't let it sway your decision to race with these folks. Who knows? You may do better than you think. So yeah, don't let the car decision factor into whether or not you're going to participate here in season 45. I say go for it. LS Barney, was there, I mean, apart from the point at which you felt bored with the race here tonight and decided to go jumping over the NGK chicane, was there any time a point in which you were having a good battle out there on the circuit or no?
Towards the beginning of both starts, towards the beginning, I
When the
had some
green
pretty
flag
good
dropped?
battles. Yeah, but once the field started to spread out, it was just no man's land for me.
Breaking news here. Slow Motion Fire telling me in the chat. I wish I had a breaking news graphic to go with here, but Slow Motion Fire is saying points are in. It is official that LS Subaru is the season 44 champion. What's to lie ahead here for you, LS Barney, beyond maybe season 45? I think we had talked a bit about your participation in the 24 Hours of Daytona there with Tora. Any other leagues or events that you're participating in here in the next, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks that don't include FM4?
Other than FM4, I'm just gonna do the 12 hours of Sebring,
Yeah.
another Torah endurance race. But other than those two things, there's nothing much for me.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, I always ask this of you, and I think the LS folks, you both and both you and Subaru are really good at kind of giving kudos and shout outs to your teammates. But anybody else who might be watching out there that you want to say hi to?
Shout out to Patches for getting a secondary shot of me flying
Oh, so we've got it covered from different angles, is what you're
from
saying.
from multiple angles, one from the spectator cam and one from Patches hood cam at the end of the race.
Well, see, now I spoke with the judges from Norway because again we are in the spirit of the Olympics right now, the Winter Games, and Norway gave you a 4. They weren't impressed with the
Oh,
landing.
listen, what does Norway know about flying?
I'm gonna let you pick that fight. I'm not doing it.
I'll take on the entire country of Norway right now.
Guys and gals of Norway, that's LS Barney. LS_Barney here on Twitch, LS Barney on Xbox. Take your beef up with him. Do not. I don't support these advances. All right, Barney. Well, I've let you say enough. You gave your shout outs there, and you talked about your shenanigans out on the track. Great job here in season 44. Although like you said, probably will drop down a little bit here in the overall standings. But look forward to seeing how you fare in season 45.
See ya.
See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya, because now the entire country of Norway is after LS Barney. Rightfully so. He brought it upon himself. SDR Onion with too many eyes here in the driver's spotlight now. I show you finishing fifth. You had a good run there in both instances of the race. The first 14 laps that we had, and then the second stint of 25. Finished fifth behind Audrex, just out in front of Slow Motion Fire. There was a great battle that was a little bit further back in your rearview mirror. Are you pleased with how things ended here tonight?
Yeah, I'm actually quite happy. Fifth is my highest finish ever in FM4, so always want to take those as you can get them. And I want to call out Barney right now for copping out of that battle. He took the jump when I was catching him,
Yeah.
and I think he wouldn't be able to stomach it if I had passed him. I mean,
See, I'm glad you said it, because I was going to infer it, but I figured out. I'll let it go. And I'm glad you come in here into the driver's spotlight and say, "Hey, I was catching up with him, and the dude decided to walk the plank."
I choose violence, Barney. Unreal.
way to go ahead and back yourself out of a challenge, than to go hurling your car through the air at the NGK chicane. Talk with SDR Onion here in the driver's spotlight at the conclusion of tonight's action. I say SDR. It's SDR in Discord, right? I'm not
Yeah,
giving
it
you
is.
extra acronyms or letters in front of your name. Oh yeah, sure enough.
No, you got it.
You entered the season, or entered week number 5 here in 12th position, 136 points. This should get you a nice bundle of points here to close things out in season 44. Ultimately, how did you feel about things in the 73 RX3? And can we expect you out on the track for season 45?
Oh, I'll definitely be here for season 45. I wouldn't miss it. The RX3 though, man, it's an enjoyable car once you get it up to pace. But everything up until then is just horrendous.
Yeah, we heard folks throughout the season saying that the car's steering is a bit twitchy, maybe some oversteer in the car. How did it fare at the GP? I mean, you have a lot more, I would say maybe in comparison to some of the other tracks here in season 44, you had a lot of room on the circuit to work with. But did that mean that everything went blissfully, or were there some issues, any particular corners that gave you fits here tonight?
I could never figure out quite how to get the Schumacher S
Hmm.
quite right. It was always just slightly too slow through there, losing time always. But no, tuning the car, it was a hassle, and then I just increased both differentials, and it worked fine. And I was quite happy with the way it was performing today.
You figured out the whole differential thing just at the end of the season, yeah?
Yeah.
That's the way it works sometimes. You go throughout the season thinking of like, how can I make this car perform better? How can I make it fit my driving style? And then at the end of the season, the light bulb goes off, and you're like, oh yeah, if I just do this, this should work. Again, SDR Onion here in the driver's spotlight. I often ask some of the drivers, more so some of the veterans here of FM4, and now you've got a couple, I think maybe a couple of seasons under your belt here with this league. What are your thoughts? What do you tell anybody who might be watching and thinking, this looks fun, but they're maybe indecisive right now about participating?
I say, get out here and do it. What are you doing? What are you doing? Just come on down. We're all nice guys. And unless you're like driving in reverse the whole time, you should be finding somebody similar pace to you.
unless you're driving in reverse or you're jumping parts of the track, right?
Yeah, that too.
Just keep.
I got a good laugh out of that one though. I was
Yeah. Oh
slightly
yeah.
dizzy afterwards. The next lap was so super slow.
We're giving Barney a hard time, but it's all in jest. We're having a good time with them. So there you go. From Onion with Too Many Eyes saying for himself, if you're thinking about joining the league, come out here and have a go at it. I'll say this: there's no commitment required. So if you just absolutely hate it through the first race or the first week or two, okay, fine, bow out. But at least you tried. But yes, Onion saying, hey, get out here, have a good time with these folks. I know the Witchy Lady, we saw her show up here for a few races throughout season 44. Maybe we'll see her return here in season 45. If you have to duck in and out because of real life stuff, understandably so, but at least give it a shot. Onion, any shout outs here this evening before we close up season 44?
I want to shout out you for a fantastic broadcast as always, Dustin. And Slow Motion Fire and the guys who run this league. They always do such a great job. It's so much fun just being in here all the time on Tuesdays. Highlight of my week.
I know, Tuesday. Like Onion said, what else do you have going on? If you're watching the stream on Tuesday, then you might as well be racing in the action on Tuesdays. Wholeheartedly agree, and the fact that the folks here put on the event, Slow Motion Fire and Company, to the point where you could predictably, what to expect. Like they're not late, they're on time. Couple of hours of racing, you're in, you're out, and then you're on into your Wednesday. It's always a good time. SDR Onion, great chatting with you throughout the season. Look forward to seeing you in season 45, and perhaps right up there into the top 10 where you deserve to be. I think I'd like to see that here in season 45.
I got P9 in the championship. I just looked at this sheet.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so you did get into the top 10. Very good, very good.
Yes,
well,
sir.
Higher up in season 45.
For sure.
All right, take care. And let's go ahead now. I mentioned a couple of times here the organizer of the Forza Spec Racing Series, Slow Motion Fire, gets some help with from Fear the Fun and Modern Weapon. But for all intents and purposes, really kind of orchestrates the whole thing. Slow Motion Fire, you had a lovely battle. I mean, just nonstop, it seemed. Their 6th position on back to 8th with Modern Weapon, Patches, Riley. I think maybe even Cuda 93 was in the mix there for a bit.
Yeah, kind of. I was running in 2 different groups there. Before the caution, I was battling with Barney and Cuda, and we had a pretty good 3-way battle going there. And then after the caution, I slid back a little bit and was battling with Modern and Patches for basically the whole half of the race after the caution. So can't complain. It was a fun race. Had some good battles.
A lot of close racing there. Not a whole heck of a lot of change in position. So it seems like everybody was just on their line and not really making any mistakes, and you guys just kind of hung out with each other.
There was quite a few little mistakes. So the positions were shuffling, but by the time you'd get down to the start-finish line, it might be the same order you were the last lap, but you changed order about 3 times during the course of the lap.
Chat with Slow Motion Fire. I really enjoyed that race. The RX3 out at the Nürburgring GP. I don't know, that race could have easily taken the place of any others throughout the season. I mean, there were some great races, especially there in week number 1. Week number 1 was an absolute blast. But man, I hope folks pick the GP track here at the Nürburgring again for season 45. I don't know. That was an enjoyable one.
Yeah, it's been good. We've got some drivers that don't particularly like this track, but the last time we were here was with the Brats, and then we came back here with the Mazdas, and it's been close racing each time. So I've been enjoying it.
Good, and regretfully so. I had to do so for personal reasons. It wasn't because I chose to, but I had to miss the season with the Subaru Brat. So that seemed like that would have been a fun one, or was it not?
No, it was. It was, again, some close racing. I think I'm trying to remember the drivers involved, but in Darkser's broadcast, it was it's like Fox Jason D, and I'm trying to think, somebody was running the leakless Pan's car, and there's one other guy. It's blanking on me now, but basically the entire half hour they were 3 wide the whole race. It was just crazy.
Fox, Jason D, Sprazows, we saw a little bit. I think showed up maybe for the first couple of races and just wasn't having a good go at it early on. I put the call out there. If you've raced in FM4 before, come on back for season 45. Let's get ourselves a full lobby there for that first week of the season and see if we get carried through all week, all 5 weeks. It's happened before, and not too long ago. It can certainly happen again. All right, Slow Motion Fire. So season 45 kart has 4 wheels, 4 tires, an engine, a transmission. Falls under the manufacturer of Porsche or Lamborghini.
It might.
Oh, we need details. We need something.
The pictures go live tomorrow night, so your guess is as good as anybody else's.
Okay, all right.
If you're throwing that out right now, shoot me a message.
Yeah. Well, and
we had Foon guess the car once before any picture ever dropped, so it's been done.
Foontang. Yeah, that's another name. There's a lot of folks who need to come back out here. Foontang being one of them. Okay, so there you go. And the caveat that Slow Motion Fire kind of slid out there was that you've got to be racing to be a part of the guessing game. That is the what is the car for season 45. If you're not racing, then step aside and let everybody else try to guess. Because, again, if you select the vehicle correctly, if you guess the vehicle correctly based on the photos, then you get to pick one of the tracks for season 45, one of the 9 tracks there in season 45. So that could give you some sort of advantage if you really like a track. Mazda Laguna Seca would be my selection if I was picking. And even if it doesn't give you an advantage, well, do the guessing game for the sake of having fun and seeing if you can pick the car correctly. What do you think of your season here, season 44, Slow Motion Fire? You came into week number 5 with 197 points, 6th overall. Barney, with his shenanigans out there on the track, that may allow you to leapfrog him. All in all, what are your thoughts on the season?
Well, before we get to that, I'm just going to say we're doing something a little different next season with the Guess the Car. All that'll be released tomorrow, so it won't quite be the same, but all those details will go up tomorrow. So if you're curious, check it out right away. You won't want to miss it.
Okay.
And I am incredibly happy with how this season went because my goal was to beat Kuda, and I think I ended up just sneaking past him tonight, so that's a success for me.
Yeah, Kuda finishing 9th by my notes, and you finishing in 6th. So that should give you the advantage that you need to finish out in front of him. So there you go. Is that I ought to know this, but because I've been away for a couple of seasons, Kuda 93. That's kind of like your closest competition. That's your benchmark really out there.
This season it was in this car. Ever since the season opener, we were kind of battling for the same positions every week, so it just became a good rivalry there the entire season.
Cool. And that's, if you haven't raced in FM4, I think that's probably one of the great value propositions of this league, is that even if you're not going to be high up there and competing for the championship or even the top 5, you're going to find somebody who's either like-minded or like-skilled, similar in skill, that you can compete closely with and make it your challenge to beat them week in and week out. So all kinds of good stuff here in FM4, and an awesome way to kind of prep you for the next Forza Motorsport title to come. Slow Motion Fire, great way to close this one out. You're the last one here in the driver's spotlight. So what words do you have maybe for some of the other drivers, some of the viewers, or maybe nobody at all? I don't care. Do what you will.
Oh, I just want to thank everybody on the mod team. Shout out to Cratrium and Modern and Slip and Fear and Foon and everybody that helps, because as we go into the next season, they'll be putting in time. We're on the builds and on the track list and everything, so they help make this run, and I appreciate all the help I get from them, all the help from Kuda for the graphics design work, all the help you put in, and all of the drivers for, if we didn't have any of them, we'd have nothing every week. So thanks to everybody that shows up and races with us.
I've never tried commentating a one driver race, and I don't
think it'd be all that exciting.
Here comes Slow Motion Fire around turn number 1, and 30 minutes later, you crossed the line in first. Well done. Yes, big shout outs to all those folks from me as well, because like Slow just said, without any of those people, I probably wouldn't be able to join in and do the commentating, which I just thoroughly enjoy. I'm glad to be back. I mean, season 44 being the return season for me here was a nice one, and I look forward to seeing what's ahead. So Motion Fire, my thanks to you for allowing me to return here behind the microphone, and I'm eager to see what's going to come of the guessing game here, what the car is, and then ultimately what our schedule looks like. What are we looking at? Like 3 or 4 weeks from tonight?
Yeah, it'll be pretty normal schedule. So we'll have a gap week and nothing, and then
Okay.
then we'll start with the next season, kind of pre-festivities.
Gotcha.
So it should be about 3 weeks.
PTG Platinum. I don't know when you typed that, but you said, "Hey, who is the organizer of the Forza Spec Racing Series?" We're talking to him right now. Slow Motion Fire. You can find them under that name, both, well, not both, but also in all 3 areas, really. The subreddit, reddit.com/r/FM4. Also, Slow Motion Fire is the gamer tag, and then also the Discord name, so that when you join the Discord, if you join the Discord, that's who you can look for in there in terms of asking questions, or if you're looking for an official response from somebody, that's who you'd be looking for. All right, and Slow Motion Fire there in the chat says hello Platinum. Slow Motion Fire, great chatting with you. We'll see you in about 3 or 4 weeks time for season 45. All those details will be posted reddit.com/r/FM4. If I can't stress this enough. If you think that you would like to be a part of some community racing, some multiplayer racing that involves folks who are organized, who come in on Tuesdays, week in and week out, and start on time, finish on time, and really provide a good environment, no matter what your background is, no matter what your skill level is, no matter who you are as a person, very open arms here in FM4. And so don't let that be something that kind of dissuades you from being a part of what they've got going on here. I promise you, if I didn't believe in what they were doing, I wouldn't be behind the mic helping them broadcast their events. So let that be a testament to you that you can participate, again, with the certainty and surety that you'll be welcomed in. Race clean. That is really the only prerequisite. And then you'll be back week in, week out, show off your skills. And even if they're not the greatest, well, guess what? You'll have plenty of racing to improve those skills over time. That's going to be it for me. I have a little bit of a preview here of what's to come. I almost ended a little bit preemptively there. One thing I do want to kind of hype up here, if you're a fan of baseball cards, and I know that may not be everybody who's listening to the stream here, but if you are a baseball fan or a baseball card collector, or maybe you're wanting to become a collector, you're a budding collector, guess what? Here on February the 19th, that's a Saturday, and just as the screen suggests, starting at 9 a.m. Eastern there on the 19th, I'm going to be opening up 2 cases of Topps Series 1 baseball, a hobby case, and an HTA jumbo case. That combines for a total of 18 boxes in total of baseball cards. I did a little bit of this last year, and I enjoyed it so much myself that I'm doing it again this year. And what I think is a little bit cool too, and the reason why I say if you're interested in card collecting, or maybe you're already a collector and you want to add to your collection based on whatever it is that I pull from those boxes, following that broadcast on the 19th, I will also be posting some of those hits, some of those pulls over on my my eBay store that I just launched about a week ago, and already have a surprising amount of sales for me. In terms of my own personal goal versus what has actually been accomplished here over the last week, I'm pleasantly surprised. I'll be posting them up there, and I'm telling you right up front, I'm doing my best effort to undercut all the other listings that are out there. Not because I don't think that those folks who have gone out and invested and placed the cards up onto the eBay store, not to try to do so to put them out of business per se, but really I'm doing it because the idea here is that if there's something that I've pulled, I guarantee you I'm not trying to add it to my collection. I'm not trying to hold on to it. So maybe you're a fan of a particular team, a particular player. Well, odds are, unless they're my favorite player on my favorite team, odds are I'll have those available for you to pick up at a reasonable and what I would consider fair rate there on my eBay store. All products come to you from my house to yours with free shipping, which is kind of factored into the price a little bit, but still below what others are asking. And so, yeah, if that at all intrigues you, come hang out with me. Not this coming Saturday, but the following Saturday, starting at 9 a.m. Eastern. I'm going to get started bright and early my time, which is 7 a.m. Mountain Time. It's probably going to be about a 12-hour stream, opening those 18 boxes, those 2 cases of cards. And we're just going to be here shooting the breeze too, really. Just chatting it up. Yeah. So there you go. That's what's coming up in about a week and a half's time. What's coming up more close to today, in much closer proximity to where we are right now, Friday. I'll be on at 7 p.m. Eastern. That's the shorter Friday stream, as I do not have that day off, so I will be on for 2 hours there for Hauling for the Weekend, American Truck Simulator. Then on Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern for that 4-hour Sunday stream with Snow Runner Sunday, and then I'll be back on Tuesday. Obviously not with the Forza Spec Racing Series, because that's ended here for season 44, and 45 will be a few weeks out. So I'll be back on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, same time, with The Room Old Sins. It's a puzzle game. And yes, while I know it's not the traditional content here on the channel, I've played through the first 3, so I at least want to give those of you who enjoyed that content, that stream, a chance to see the 4th and, at least right now, the final iteration of that series. I don't know if they're planning on making another one or what, but come see me fumble through some puzzles. Should be a good time. I think that'll be 2 Tuesdays worth of broadcast, so not only this coming Tuesday, but then the following Tuesday, and then that 3rd Tuesday, which will probably be the lead in to season 45. I think I'm going to be doing like some Car Mechanic Simulator 21. Or actually, Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. I don't have 21, and I don't think I'm going to pick up 21. I'm going to stay in 18. So there you go. That's a preview of what's ahead. Whew. All right, now that I've talked myself into Cottonmouth, y'all have a wonderful rest of the week. Hope it is a fantastic one. If you could join me on Friday, that'd be great, or Sunday, or next Tuesday. Love to have you back. Thanks to those who not only followed but subscribed today, to include Whiskey Brat with the follow and the tier 1 sub, One Up Lion 9417 with the follow, and then Hootie Hoo, who followed back on Sunday. Have a lovely week, y'all. Stay happy, stay healthy. If you get any racing action in, keep it fun, keep it safe, keep it clean. Until next time, adios. Goodbye. Peace.